Hey guys, it's Sam again with Nixon Offroad crew. Today we are installing a brand new front bumper on our Jeep Wrangler JK model here. Now this front bumper is for all 2008 to 2017 Jeep Wrangler JK models. This thing has a powder coated steel finish. It's winch compatible, it's solid, it's sturdy, and it can be adapted to 4 different styles. Now the first step is going to be to take the OEM front bumper off. That does take a little bit longer than getting this bad boy on, so let's get started. Now first thing to know, to install the extensions, there's going to be 4 bolts on each side with an additional 4 if you're going to be installing that bull bar as well. Our bumpers all have the same style mounting locations. The JL and JK front bumpers are based on the same design, so there will be many similarities between the two. Don't forget to tighten everything up as you're working. It's the same deal if you want the mid-length extension instead. We try to make it as easy as possible for you. So again, it's just 4 bolts on each side. As I just said, it's an additional 4 bolts if you want to install the bull bar. Now we do recommend that you install this before you actually attach the bumper, because if you wait till it's on there, you're going to be dealing with some pretty small tight spaces. Next we need to secure 8 carriage bolts to prepare for the future step of attaching the front bumper later on. We need to secure these 4 points on both sides. Both sides are going to look just like this. We're going to be using a different type of washer. These are push lock washers. Now they're designed to hold the screw in place until it's actually secured. Now you want to be careful, they do have some points on them. We do recommend wearing gloves. And you're going to want to make sure it's as flush to the bracket as possible. And we are going to be dealing with some tight spaces again here. You might want to use some tools to help get the job done right. We need it perfectly aligned and as flush to the bracket as possible. It's the same deal if you want the stubby extension instead. We try to make it as easy as possible for you. So again, it's just 4 bolts on either side. After you've decided what style of bumper you want on your Jeep, it'll be time to go underneath to remove this splash guard. And we do this by removing these 7 screws right here. And keep in mind that these splash guards can vary. They can come in either metal or plastic for the OEM. If your Jeep's been on the road for a while, then this level of debris is perfectly normal. Once you take the screws out, there'll be nothing holding the splash guard in place, so just be careful when you take it down. Now we're going to go behind the fog light area to disconnect the fog light connector. Just pinch it from the back and pull it on out. You'll be removing this fog light connector from both sides. Next, we're going to be removing 8 bumper retaining bolts. From the OEM bumper, there'll be 4 on each side. Reaching the inside 2 bolts on both sides is going to be tight, so you're going to have to wrap your hand around to gain access with a tool. Power tools will cut down the installation time on a fair number of these components. Once you remove these 8 bolts, the front bumper will be loose and hanging, and you can go ahead and remove it. So what were these pieces that just fell? Well, these are the reinforcement plates that were installed on the OEM front bumper to give it a bit more holding power. They were simply inserted behind the main bumper bracket, and when we loosened it, they all fell off. Now, it is possible to take these off manually, but we found it a lot easier just to let them drop. Now we're moving on because we need to remove this plastic frame guard. To do this, we'll be removing these 2 plastic rivet screws. Now keep in mind that these are plastic, so they will strip super easily with a Phillips screwdriver. Now in the likely event that this does happen, you will need to screw off the top with a drill and just pull the whole piece out. Let's talk about the fog lights for a moment. Now this front bumper is compatible with the OEM fog lights. If you have 4-point mounting for your fog light brackets, then they'll fit directly into this bumper. If you don't, then you might have to purchase the OEM fog lights with the 4-point mounting for this installation. We can now go ahead and place our new front bumper on the Jeep. It is recommended you have 2 people here, as you'll need to secure and align the 8 bumper retaining bolts at the same time. You can go ahead and use your hands at first to secure it and set it into place so that we have time for final adjustments afterwards. Lastly, go ahead and tighten down all these bumper retaining bolts, and we are done with our new beast of a front bumper for the Jeep Wrangler JK models. And that wraps up the installation of our brand new front bumper. This is a powder coated steel badass of a design. It comes in 4 different styles, and it is recommended that you have 2 people to install this. And our techs recommend about 90 minutes to get the job completely done. That's taking off the OEM front bumper and installing the new one. As always, take your time, have a blast.